Welcome back to Dinar Community Channel. That's exactly what happened to me the moment the Iraqi dinar revalued, and in just 24 hours, my entire life transformed. From high-security bank meetings to luxury real estate, secret donations, and life-changing calls to my family, this isn't fantasy. This is exactly how I spent my first $10 million in dinar profits. The moves I made in one day could echo for generations. When the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar finally happened, it was like waking up in a different universe. The day had arrived, long speculated, often doubted, and prayed for by thousands of investors worldwide. Suddenly, that stack of currency I had held onto for years was no longer just colorful paper with historical value, it was real wealth. Life-changing, future-defining, and legacy-building wealth. Within hours, my IQD investment had yielded a fortune, and as I stepped into the first 24 hours post-RV, the numbers on my account weren't just big, they were historic. This is the story of how I spent my first $10 million in dinar profits, and what I learned along the way. I didn't sleep the night the RV went live. Notifications were pouring in. Social media was on fire. Telegram and Discord channels I was part of exploded with excitement. Banks confirmed it. Private exchange centers began operating. And the rate, it had gone far beyond even the most optimistic predictions. I had prepared for years, vetting advisors, attending webinars, and planning for the what if. But when that what if turned into a right now, the feeling was surreal. By 6 a.m., I was on the phone with my financial advisor. We'd rehearsed this moment many times. Step 1. Lock in the exchange rate through a Tier 1 bank. Step 2. Move the converted funds into a non-interest-bearing, fully insured account. Step 3. Breathe. By 8 a.m., I walked out of the bank's private wealth division with a formal confirmation, $10 million USD, tax-sheltered and legally documented, sitting in my new account. This wasn't just theoretical wealth anymore. This was real. The first major move I made wasn't about buying, it was about securing. I allocated $2.5 million to a trust and asset protection strategy. My advisor helped me create a multi-layered trust structure, ensuring my assets would be shielded from lawsuits, creditors, and opportunists. We hired a specialized attorney to set up an irrevocable living trust, naming a corporate trustee to manage distributions for both present needs and long-term legacy planning. Next, I turned to real estate. I always knew that if the RV happened, I wouldn't waste time renting or speculating. I had already vetted several properties and arranged showings with realtors in case things moved quickly. By noon, I was walking through a 6-bedroom contemporary estate perched on a private hill overlooking the Pacific Ocean in California. Asking price, $3.2 million. I offered $3 million in cash for a quick closing. No mortgage, no delay, no contingencies. The seller accepted. Before even signing the final documents, I called an interior designer to schedule an immediate walkthrough. Within hours, my new sanctuary was being customized. I requested a personal office, full smart home integration, and a soundproof studio for content creation. This house wasn't just going to be a residence, it was the nerve center of my new life. While real estate and legal planning were crucial, this day wasn't just about security, it was also about joy. I booked a private chartered jet to fly my closest family members from across the country to meet me at the estate for a celebration dinner. No commercial lines, no TSA, just comfort, privacy, and gratitude. On board the Gulfstream G280, I had my personal assistant, yes, I hired one that day to coordinate luxury pickup vehicles at both ends. We arranged for chef-catered meals, with hand-picked menus including my parents' favorite dishes. For the first time in years, my entire family sat at a single table, not just eating, but truly celebrating. By 3 p.m., I was already receiving congratulatory messages from friends and former colleagues. Some asked for advice. Others were stunned that the RV actually happened. I felt a strange mix of joy and caution. I had to tread carefully. I knew overnight wealth came with emotional whiplash. I also knew boundaries would become more important than ever. So I created a giving plan. I allocated $500,000 from my RV profits into a charitable foundation I had pre-registered months earlier. The foundation was structured to support education for underprivileged youth, particularly in war-affected regions. I named it after my grandfather, who had always believed in lifting others as you rise. That same day, I contacted a global NGO to form a partnership. Within hours, the ball was rolling on a scholarship program that would help change lives, just like mine had changed. Next, I took care of some long overdue promises. I sent my parents a $200,000 cashier's check along with a handwritten letter thanking them for their unwavering support. I paid off their mortgage, their cars, and transferred ownership of a luxury condo I had purchased for them later that day. Watching their tears on FaceTime made every minute of this journey worth it. Then I made a move I had dreamed about for years. I paid off the medical debt of 50 families in my local community. Anonymously, through a nonprofit partner, I cleared $300,000 in outstanding balances that had been burdening real families. The letters went out that same evening. Their smiles, even through pictures, were better than any luxury gift. Not everything I did was noble, though. I allowed myself one splurge, a custom-built Mercedes Maybach GLS 600. Price tag, $220,000. It wasn't about the car. It was about the symbolism. I'd worked relentlessly, fought off doubt, clung to my faith in the RV, and now I could enjoy this guilt-free. I ordered the interior to be tailored with champagne leather and a custom star ceiling. Delivery was scheduled within 2 weeks. The evening hours brought a quiet moment of reflection. I sat by the fire pit in my new backyard, scrolling through messages from strangers, other dinar holders who were either celebrating or still waiting for clarity. I remembered being in their shoes. I remembered feeling uncertain, scared, hopeful. And I made a vow to never lose touch with that part of the journey. By 9 p.m., my assistant had booked consultations with tax professionals, international investment advisors, and currency strategists. I wanted my next $10 million to be even more strategic. My plan was to diversify across foreign real estate, gold, AI startups, and green energy. The RV wasn't the end, it was the beginning. By 10 p.m., I was mentally exhausted. The whirlwind of decisions, emotions, phone calls, and financial maneuvers had left me exhilarated but spent. But I slept better than I ever had before. Not because I was rich, but because I was in control. The first 24 hours after the RV weren't about extravagance. They were about grounding. Yes, I celebrated. Yes, I upgraded my life. But I also planned, protected, gave back, and looked ahead. In truth, I didn't feel like a millionaire, I felt like a steward. Someone entrusted with a blessing that could change lives if used wisely. The wealth was real, but what mattered most was the responsibility that came with it. The chance to impact, to elevate, and to lead. And now, with $10 million deployed, protected, invested, and shared, I'm just getting started. The journey is no longer a dream. It's my reality. And the RV wasn't the finish line. It was the gateway to something far greater. Because true wealth isn't about how much you can spend in a day. It's about what kind of legacy you begin to build when the world finally says, you made it. And I did. Like and subscribe for more videos.